Fear not, citizens. Hope has arrived as the Amateur Otaku returns to talk My Hero Academia manga. Um, we are here, Isaac, me, Brandon, and our good friend from Geekly Goods, Leo Rydel, joining the show as we're talking MHA. We're talking the last four chapters in this amazing climactic war arc between the forces of All for One and the forces of One for All in Class 1A. We're covering chapters 383, 384, 85 to 86. A lot has happened. We are very excited to talk manga. But Leo, you've been away from the show for a minute. I mean, you were a big column in this manga series for a long time. And I'm glad that you're back here joining us, dude. How's it going?
Well, hey, thanks for having me back, man. It's great. I have been really a little, I must admit, I'm a little bittersweet on this saga of MHA, if you will. I was talking to Isaac before the stream, and I think it's been a little up and down. There's been some great moments in the arc where you see characters really finally get to the end of some arcs and get to some points where we needed them to get to, like Shoto and Dabi, and we've seen some really big moments here, of course, with Deku and Shigaraki already in a battle. But it's felt like we're dancing around a little in some instances. Especially, I'm glad we got the Uraraka stuff, but I think that it kind of danced around the point of those characters a little. And I think we're delaying what feels to be the end, but these four chapters specifically have, in my opinion, gassed the batteries back up. Because I think we were just in a bit of a slump there, especially I think right after Bakugo's tragic potential end. We don't really know what's going on there. I think
Which, by the
after
way,
that we've kind of dragged a bit.
it's almost a year since he got apparently mortally wounded, so we don't know what's going.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, what's going on there? It feels like sometimes it feels like they'll open up a whole different plot link only to have that lingering throughout the saga. And I'm like, okay, like the Bakugo thing.
Yeah.
That was something that just kind of happened mid-saga, and we still don't have an answer to it. I feel like Horikoshi does this a lot. Yeah. He does this a lot, where he opens up a plot point and there is no closure for a while. So yeah, I'm really liking the last four chapters, but the saga as a whole, this arc has felt a little dragged out.
Okay. Fair enough. I think it's an attempt of he wants to make. We gotta admit the biggest thing here is, especially ever since Deku made it to what we call Sky UA, right? To not call it Sky High like we've done many times in the past. He's trying to consolidate all the battlefields, right? Because in the beginning of this war, right, he split everything into 5 places. You had the Shoto and Dabi fight. You have the whole thing with Spinner and the heteromorphs. You have the whole thing with Deku, where Deku was with Ochako, Suyu, and I cannot believe I forgot her name, but the villainess that clones into people, that person. And I don't know why I forgot her name for some reason. I was about to say clone fruit. That's my problem. And then you had the whole thing with Shigaraki and the whole thing with All for One at Gunga. What was that?
Toga.
Yes. Himiko Toga. Beautiful name. So yeah, so like now, if you've noticed, because those little pockets of violence or war have kind of concluded, he's kind of bringing he's reduced everything from 5 battlefields to 2. So before he can keep doing these specific strokes towards the end, he got to have to close those loops. But I got to agree with you. It sometimes it feels like it's losing momentum, because in reality, all we want to do is finish a freaking fight with All for One and then finish the freaking fight with Deku. That's all we need. And I'm glad that you picked up on the fact that, like, this chapter and these 4 chapters in particular are kind of finalizing that closing of the loop. Does that make sense? Like now we can concentrate on the two things that we've been wanting to concentrate forever.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that Bakugo may or may not die, and we still don't know.
We're just on the edge with that one. We have no idea what's going on.
It's funny.
I'm gonna
That was a
assume he's gonna
pun,
come
and you
back.
didn't even notice that was a pun, by the way. We're at the edge. Edge shot is doing the thing, and Bakugo's.
Yep. That went right over my head.
It's right there. It's magic.
Yeah,
Isaac,
it went
are you
right over the
sleeping?
head there.
How can you not notice this?
Because I knew that you would notice it, so...
That sounds like an excuse, Leo, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was like, hold on now. But you brought up a really good point that I think something we've been in the fandom have been like thinking about for a long time here is All Might going to survive? And it kind of feels like a no with what happened in the end of this chapter.
But you know what's funny though? It's like I think back to the introduction of this world, right? The first 2 episodes. I go back there. And when we meet All Might, he has like a mortal wound. That's why he's weak, right? And we kind of like we know that slowly that's been like there and like gaping or whatever. And
Yeah.
there's 6 going on 7 seasons next year, right? Of this show. But you also got to figure this is where Mike would step in and be like, remember, guys, it's only been a year. like only kind of a year has passed in the entire series of MHA. So to think that he was mortally wounded and feeling the effects, and now he's quirkless and he's in a situation, of course, that we find at the end of chapter 386, which we don't want to jump there, but he's doing this, right? Because he found his reason to fight after talking to Stain. It's interesting that a lot of us overlooked that he may have been on his way out anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this was just the final curtain call here of All Might getting that heroic, what seems to be a heroic final moment coming up. And of course, Horikoshi biting off another American pop culture superhero with what appears to be a Iron Man suit at the end. I'm so excited.
Bruh. Yes.
I mean, that is an in-game type foreshadowing there. Like, my man snapped. So, okay.
Yep. And he got that car from David Shields. You know
it.
Yes. Yes. We're tying all the things. We're tying up all the things. But let's go first to this first chapter. So chapter 383, Meek Spirits. Of course, the way chapter 382 ends, it's huge. Out of nowhere, in the all-out assault against All for One, right? Which, as he gets destroyed and regenerates, he regenerates into a younger form and an even further younger form. But apparently, as he gets younger, he gets stronger, and which is something we're going to talk in 385, which they really dialed that in. But I think the whole thing is they want to keep attacking him so that he gets to a point where he regenerates, but then just ceases to exist, right? That's the whole point. Do you imagine final boss form is Baby All for One?
Right.
That's some creepy shit.
He just disappears.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
And I think what Isaac would really want is for Horikoshi to go full horror, and Shigaraki just eats Baby All for One to become ultimately powerful. And because of course, according to Isaac, Horikoshi just wants to make a horror manga.
I mean, he has said that in an interview, and
I know you just say it in every single episode, and I find it hilarious.
Have you seen some of the? It makes sense why I point out that he wants to make a horror. I should make a horror manga after this.
Yes, it does. Now, chapter 383, Meek Spirits. So this tells us how Gigantomachia gets to the battlefield. And I think this chapter is great because it highlights other members of Class 1A that we normally wouldn't have seen. And we see also members of Class 1B here too. But what do you guys think when Horikoshi brings back Deku's original villain? What was your thoughts with that, guys?
Are you talking Shinso?
No, the weird blob monster.
Yeah,
No,
that
that-
very first,
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I thought that was cool. I mean, he's
I was
digging
not
up
expecting
Muscular
that.
has been in this arc.
Yep.
He's getting everybody from Deku's old arsenal. So, yeah, I'm always a fan of like bringing villains back if they are capable. So, yeah, like I think it's a cool revisitation, kind of a full circle moment for all the heroes to be able to dominate someone like that now, as opposed to in the beginning when everyone was terrified of that blob.
Yep. I think what I like the most about this chapter, which I didn't catch it till reading it again, was how much I forgot her name because I forget every single name in this world apparently.
Acid Girl.
Yes, is that her name? Acid Girl.
I mean, I don't know, but I know who you're talking about. I don't know.
So you are aware that you're not helping by just throwing a random.
Yep, I listen. That's how I remember her.
Mina Ashido.
Ashido, yes. So
Ashido.
and that's Kuroshima with her, right? So I love the fact
Mike is gonna facepalm this entire
yes,
recording.
that is the point.
Oh, for sure, because I be forgetting names too. I'm like, what?
But one of the things that I love is that it highlights how much. I mean, she's grown a huge amount, right? But I love how much she's grown because if you guys remember, her villain is technically Gigantomachia. Because Gigantomachia has been the symbol of fear that has made her feel weak and useless since before she got to UA. So Gigantomachia has been there forever, like making her feel this fear. And the fact that she's trained using Shoto's and Bakugo's training regimens, by the way, to get to a point where her acid can melt Gigantomachia's flesh. Bro. Like, and she does it to save Mount Lady. That was fire. That moment right there was just wow.
So good, man. I mean, this is just epic, bro. Like, I love them teaming up to take on Gigantomachia. And not only Acid, but also Kirishima. You could say that this was also a huge villain for him as well because he was there. And remember, last time they lost their teacher. So now this is their time to redeem her, to redeem Midnight.
Yeah. To make sure that he doesn't get out of control. And I like the whole thing. Of course, we get the best cliffhanger, I think, at the end of last chapter wasn't just Gigantomachia, but the fact that Shinzo was the one controlling him. That was fire. So this, like, there's nothing really happens in this chapter. It just explains how Gigantomachia gets there in reality. But it still is a good chapter to have because it gives us that insight to those characters, right? And what they went through to be the best. Because the best thing about heroes and stuff like that, it's not just we love Deku because he's the main character, and of course the biggest battles are there. But you've grown so close to all these members of Class 1A that you see them do things like we see Ashido and Kirishima do here, what Shinjo is doing. Those kind of things put a smile on your face for those pretty cool moments.
Yeah, they're really cool to see Shinzo back doing his thing too. Really nice moment to circle back around for that character and Honestly, I just love seeing them all work together. That's like the heartbeat of MHA is these kids working together.
Yep.
Which it is the complete opposite of the last regime. So that's why they're able to defeat enemies together, because that's how it always should be. There should not be one guy showing up to beat every villain. It should be a balanced teamwork like framework.
Yeah. I know we want to talk about what happens after Gigantomachia gets there, right? Because this is like a little tunnel vision chapter in between 382 and 384, really, right? Like 384 is where it happens, ladies and gentlemen. But before we move on,
Yeah, for
Isaac,
real.
do you have anything you want to add on 383?
Honestly, when it comes to 383, the biggest part I would argue is that it finally feels like you get a somewhat, like you guys said, somewhat of a semi-closure of for Midnight and her loss of Midnight when confronts him.
Yeah.
That's the biggest deal I would like to say, point out, so to speak.
I mean, you could even say that there's a little bit of a redemption thing also, because she couldn't help and save Midnight, but she was able to save Mount Lady. So there's that little thing there too, that on a young hero will definitely be on their mind. So there is that little thing there. So it makes all the sense. Now, moving forward, the assault on All for One continues as we pick up where we left off. In chapter 384 is A Small World, which, by the way, creepiest ride on Disney. Don't care what you say. That is the creepiest ride in any Disney park. Period. Prove me wrong, internet. But Gigantomachia, Mount Lady, freaking Dark Shadow with all its power, just hitting All for One with everything. I don't know, man. Every time I see All for One's face, I hate it because for some reason they're making him look like a K-pop star. It's horrible.
Yeah, what is with him looking so beautiful?
Yeah,
Like I'm like, what?
I mean, it could be the whole Demon Lord thing, Lucifer Morningstar,
Yeah, I mean, this guy is supposed to instill fear, and he just looks
Yes.
gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Now, were you all expecting the turnaround of Gigantomachia finally turning on All for One himself?
No, honestly,
That was a nice surprise.
I
When that
actually think
happened,
it
Isaac,
makes
what were your
sense.
thoughts? What were your thoughts?
I mean, considering how he has treated him, and all that, yes, I think it's completely makes sense. It's sort of like a pet. It's sort of like if you treat a pet bad enough, you. No, I wouldn't say pet, but it's sort of like you. I can't find a word right now, but I think you try know what I'm trying to say.
I would understand what you're saying in a way. If he was abused by All for One, but that didn't happen. But I know what you mean, like the whole thing of Gigantomachia has like a dog kind of quirk, right?
Yeah.
Which is why he's so faithful to All for One. But the idea, like, because putting this into perspective, right? Especially going back to the whole spinner of it all, the whole heteromorph war and all that stuff, which to me is super interesting. Gigantomachia is a heteromorph. He's not a normal person. Because of his quirk, his body looks a certain way, similar to Coda, similar to Octacle or whatever his name was. So they all have a deformed body, and they are all ostracized and marginalized by everyone. So that's one thing, which is why when we see Gigantomachia for the first time, which is in that memory where Ashido freaks out, is because he's covered, like completely covered, like in a mantle, and he looks a lot smaller, right? Because he probably gets beaten or chased out and whatever. So he found this person that not only took care of him but gave him more power or whatever, and this one person that he trusted in to take care of him consistently
Yeah.
and actually be his home betrayed him. So even now, for example, All for One treats him. He finally gets the fact that All for One maybe didn't abuse him physically, but he still treated him like a dog. Didn't treat him like a person. Didn't treat him like a human being. And I think that's where Gigantomachia is revolting from, which I find very interesting. Did you guys catch any of that?
Yeah. I honestly thought Isaac was hitting the nail on the head with what he was saying, to be honest. I think it is like an abandoned pet. If you leave a pet for too long, they're going to be upset. And I think it's completely understandable on Gigantomachia's side, because Gigantomachia doesn't see this situation as, All for One was locked away. He sees it as his master abandoned him for the longest time. So it doesn't surprise me that he would betray him. I didn't see it coming, but it makes sense. Like Isaac was saying, it really makes sense in my opinion. And I kind of like it. It's a Frankenstein monster type story.
Yes.
You left the monster too long and the monster got out of control. And so I think that this is a cool way to include this type of theme in the story. And I'm curious to see where it goes, and if he'll end up having to, kill Gigantomachia. I really don't want to say that, but because I don't know, it's a weird thing because Gigantomachia is evil, but you kind of feel for him, And
is he evil though?
I mean, that's a good question, because it's like he's
a dog.
He's
just
All for
loyal.
One's pet. Yeah, he's just
Right.
loyal to All for One.
Right.
So
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a nature versus nurture situation again.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. But the idea that All for One can take all this damage, he's like that Final Fantasy boss that doesn't go down.
Oh no.
Bro.
He's just not like super weirdly monstrous like these bosses usually are, but
but he's like, he's like the one from, what was it, Isaac? That for Shin Megami Tensei 5, they brought the one from Tensei 3 as a sneaker boss. Yeah, and he looks like this. The main character.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, skinny kid, and he just
into Demi-Fiend.
Yeah, and he's just he's just a damage hoarder, just taking all that in, and looking sexier every time he gets.
I haven't been able to beat that boss, no matter how much I plan.
That's for you to say that, Isaac. And I know you plan. I think we hit the nail on the head on that one. But I did like that. I did like the fact that Gigantomachia is like going at All for One the way he does it. But did you guys like the little nod on Shinsho's ability?
Yes.
That was
can control minds but not hearts. That was awesome.
That's like one of those things. Like, yes,
that's epic. Like I love that. That's like what he said makes him a hero and not a villain.
Yes.
I'm like, oh yeah, because like his passion is for his master, so he can't control that. And deep down, Gigantomachia feels betrayed.
Right. So it's not him forcing him to do something wrong. That's Gigantomachia's emotions, feelings. He's putting a fit, man. He's throwing a fit. That's what he's doing. It's like, damn it, you didn't bring my treats. Now
that is no.
I love it when you stop yourself from whatever it is that you stop yourself from, Isaac. Um, I would like to know at some point what went through your head that was so bad that you decided to. So moving on. So in this, now the biggest point here is not just the consistent damage that we're just dealing and duking at all for one, right? But we kind of pick up on what the business team of UA started hinting to, right? The idea of not only catalog cataloging historic events like these so that people can learn and know what's going on, but now you're doing that but in the news anchor perspective, the idea of good journalism trying to get the truth out there, right? Like all for one is trying to create this blanket of darkness that everyone's failed or whatever. But the idea that these newscasters are now sacrificing or putting themselves in danger, similar to how a lot of journalists go to these war-ridden countries and try to report on the facts on what's going on the ground, as opposed what the news outlets here are saying, stuff like that. I love that angle of how information and the transmission of information can make you understand how big or the world really is, big or small the world really is. And the idea that you think about how the internet, TikTok, and all of that, right, has made the world that much smaller in the sense that you can know what's going on in another state, in another country, as if it was happening in your backyard. And that's kind of like the idea that they're putting out there. And I found it so interesting and so important because I think they hinted at it a while ago in a couple of chapters, but the idea of the world recognizing, actually at the end of season 6, the world recognizing that the threat of All for One is not just a physical threat for Japan, but he's a threat for the world. But Japan is simply the place where it's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I think where this is contained doesn't stop him. There's no boundary here.
Yep. But I love the idea of showing those glimpses of them in the helicopters, people watching it in their laptops, like kids going like, "Oh, where's Japan? What's going on?" Like you see the same lady that was screaming at the big 3 in that press conference after Dabi's reveal, like questioning where were you. She's actually now risking her life to find the truth. Like the way they tie that up, bro. She's not a Karen. She's trying to do the right thing, damn it.
She's like a good Karen.
Yes. Damn. Now I do want to say I can't show it because Shueisha doesn't like us showing anything. But that one spread of Deku and Shigaraki throwing hands, bro. That looks amazing.
So good.
Bro. Like Deku just holding Shigaraki's hands and Shigaraki just having a blast. That just looks legendary, bro.
Context.
Okay, sorry. Hey man, if you're here, you read it.
No, I don't mean anything. You're right. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, it's like this chapter just gives us a nice little kind of like pan back and reminder, like, hey, there's still a battle going on. But I'm aching to get back to that, man.
Yeah, we need to get back to that fight. Find out what's going on now. Yes, we spent enough time away. But the biggest thing though is
I was big question here. What do we return to first? The battle between Shigaraki and Deku, or confirmation if the Bakugo survived or not?
Bakugo first.
I would hope so. But I have a feeling that I don't know why, but I have a feeling that the moment that we get to Deku and Shigaraki back is right at the point. I don't know why. It's either going to be we're going to spend the next couple of chapters between All for One and All Might, and the end of that is going to lead us to just stay with Deku and Shigaraki. You know what I mean? Because of course, the direct outcome of that is going to determine that other thing, right? Um, yeah, I don't know why. I have a feeling the Bakugo thing we're probably not going to know until like after. I don't know why. It's going to be one of those moments where like out of nowhere, like when you're playing arcade Street Fighter and you're like in the ninth stage and suddenly you're about to go against Bison and this random guy just comes in and beats you as Dawson. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be that weird
The
thing.
absolute worst.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's gonna be that one thing that's just gonna come out of nowhere and then you ran out of quarters. It's like, damn it. It's gonna be that one thing. A tragedy at Pizza Hut.
I will be honest. I think they kind of blew their load here in that second MHA movie, because wasn't that supposed to be the original ending? And I kind of love that. And since it's not,
and if they do something like that, it's gonna be like, bro, you kind of already did it,
right? But I kind of want that to happen. Like, part of me is like hoping it still happens, but with Bakugo down on the ground, I doubt it.
Or what's going to happen is similar or what's going to happen is what Mike has said in a couple of times. They're going to go full on Naruto where he shares his chakra with everybody. So Deku's just
that I could see. But for a second there, I was like, please don't mean to tell me they're just going to kill All for One and it's some alien from another planet, because if we're going Naruto, that's what's going to happen.
See, that's what happens when you don't tie loose ends. Like Oda does. So, sorry. I had to.
Well, hold on. Oda ain't at the end.
What was that?
Oda's not at the end.
I know, but he's moving there. We're only missing one poneglyph. Hint, hint. Okay, so
no comment.
No comment at all. Oh, damn it! I'm sounding like Isaac. I'm a horrible person. No, you're not a horrible person, Isaac. Now, the coolest thing though is at the very end when you see that everybody has been looking at this online. Like, this is the biggest thing streaming right now live in the world, in Japan, in the world, right? Did you guys catch there's a couple of references there?
Probably not. No.
I mean, there's one that stands out more than others. But there's two references there that are very interesting. Did you guys catch, like, in all the pictures? So you see the president of the United States, of course, right?
You see the Admiral Akbar dude. Yes, that one with the mustache next to the U.S. president is supposed to be a sort of like a call for or sort of inspiration of Admiral Akbar, but besides that, I don't really know.
Well, you see the hero that recently quit a little bit ago at the end of season 6, looking at his phone while he's in one of those excavation or like in one of those escape boxes in the evacuation chutes. So he's looking at that. You see the hero from Egypt, which we saw in World Series Mission.
Yep.
And you see Roddy Soul's brother and sister.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, where?
Them.
The little
it's
kids.
Like the last panel in the chapter.
Right on top of Admiral Akbar. That's Roddy Soul's
that's
brother
Roddy
and sister.
Brother and sister.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So they're making World Heroes Mission canon. So they're making World Heroes Mission canon.
Yeah,
that's
the Egyptian
awesome.
hero.
Yep.
Hell
And
yeah.
you also see Melissa Shields from Two Heroes Mission, from Two Heroes. So on the second spread of pictures to the left, the third picture on
Yep.
top, the second picture, that's Melissa Shields, David Shields' daughter. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that in that other hero that looks like the Flash is also in World Heroes Mission, I think.
Next to the clock tower picture. Is that the one
Yes,
you're?
I think so. So so you get a couple of things there that look very interesting. And those kind of things were great. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think if Isaac, now you're gonna tell me that that guy sitting on the couch, you think that's Deku's dad? No.
I
Oh my
mean,
god.
yeah, that,
I mean,
I mean, he
I
has
mean,
said that we're
if he
going
exists,
to
if he exists, he doesn't care about him enough to kind of like figure out what's going on with his kid's life. So I mean, he might as well be that guy just shooting drinks with that girl. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
Wow.
at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if this
Don't.
show ends with something like see Deku standing next to next to a I can't speak gravestone, and the entire thing was him talking to his father's grave or something.
Oh damn! Like a Peter Parker thing.
Yeah,
Damn. That's what you're trying to say. Deku had an Uncle Ben that none of us knew about. Damn,
I
bro.
mean, at this point,
Don't be pulling our heartstrings like that, bro.
I mean, where the heck is he otherwise?
I mean, that's like talking about Suzume, and it's like talking about Makoto Shinkai movies. Like none of these people have moms or dads or whatever. Like it's, I don't know. I think we're
Yeah,
moving on. Do you guys have anything else
yeah.
on this chapter?
No, let's go to 385.
Oh, Leo, you sound excited. You sound excited about chapter
Yeah, this chapter
285,
was crazy,
the
bro.
impulses of youth. And throw the line, bro. Why is it amazing? Go do it. Tell us.
Well, there's a couple lines in this one that make it crazy, but homeboy from that retired saying my body took action all on its own. That is like
Bruh.
the heroic cry of a true hero. So
Bruh.
love him getting back into the fray. I honestly thought
We just saw
Mineta
him
might have.
on the last chapter with looking at it. Like he's
Yeah,
looking.
yep.
Yeah, bro.
It paid off. It paid off. I think Mineta
YouTube
might have had
shorts
his
change
best.
lives.
I think Mineta might have had his best moment of the entire series this chapter.
Yes.
Defending his boy.
Yep.
I thought that was real cool. I love that we finally give that character like some kind of epic moment without him necessarily even having
an epic
to have a
moment
battle.
on the battle between Deku and Class 1A. That final set piece in season
That's
6.
right.
He had a
Yeah,
minute.
I wouldn't
he's
call
had a
that-
few moments, but
I wouldn't call that epic, but yes,
I mean, for Mineta, anything's epic.
I will
I'm-
I will agree with you here. This chapter has been arguably his only good his only good use of him as a character, I would argue.
Didn't we
saving
just agree that he
Tokoyami.
had another moment in season 6?
it ain't as
I
epic
used
as
to-
this though.
Agreed. But the fact that Mineta has not had any epic moments,
Up
Yeah.
until
those
this
two
point.
need to stand out.
I was glad because I was really scared for Tokoyami. I thought maybe he would bite the bullet.
Yep.
I thought it was a little odd though that caused All for One to leave. Because it was like that happened and he just was like, oh, you heroes couldn't protect a thing. And then he just kind of like left.
I mean, you
And I
figure
was like,
he finally got something. You got to figure also. I wonder. You could see it like that because you have a very valid point. That looks kind of like, oh, he just really listened to Mineta and just left. Yeah, that's kind of like this is the guy that has been being that everybody's trying to kill for the last, I don't know, 80 chapters. And
decade-ish, tons
yes,
of time.
yes,
I definitely think it might have just been like you're so pathetic. I'm just going to walk away from it all.
right. So I like that angle, and I also the other thing that I think about that I didn't think about it till you mentioned it is what if it was just the idea that when Tokoyami wakes up, Hawks lost everything, and he couldn't do anything about it. Which it's probably going to hurt Tokoyami more. Hence the last comment: you guys were not able to protect the damn thing.
Is Hawks alive?
Well, he is. I mean, at least that's what the last person to talk before you go to the whole evacuation route scenario at the second half of the chapter. That's Hawks talking. Hawks is the one saying there's still a glimmer of hope. So he's severely hurt, but it appears that he's still alive.
Okay, it pains me to say this, but I'm gonna have to say it, man. They do not have enough casualties. I think there's a lot of close calls, and I feel like it would make a little greater of story impact if somebody like bit the bullet here. Which I think if Hawks died right there, I think it would have been kind of like sending a message to the kids. But I mean, being a little dark and grim, I'm sorry, but I just think
it's
it would add
true.
stakes to it would add consequences to the story.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. But wait. Oh no, that's something else. But the whole thing, him sealing Hawk's quirk, that was pretty crazy. Mineta. I do find. Did you guys catch the Trigun reference here?
Trigun reference.
Yes.
No.
So if you look at the attack that All for One is doing when he's regenerating, it looks just like an angel arm for the original Trigun. So Vash and Knives have the ability that when they have their gun, it morphs their arm into a huge weapon.
Yeah.
It looks just like that blast, even with the rings in the back.
I did not know. I didn't notice.
I see it as that. Maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see.
Yeah, because I did not notice that either. But damn, that's a good reference.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it because again, big fan of Trigun, but also that whole animation of him he's literally pieces of a body, just throwing out all that power. I love how they explain that the younger he is, it's funny because it's My Hero Academia, right? So all the main characters are teenagers. Are they setting it up so that the villain is a teenager and is a teenage form of All for One?
That would be kind of funny, honestly.
And the whole thing that it's funny how they're making it sound deep and profound, right? Like as the younger I revert, the more attainable it grows. Like he has this darkness in him, and it's like, bro, I know it's called hormones. You can't control yourself when you're angry. You can't control your evil desires anymore because you're not mature anymore. like bro.
It's teenage angst.
Yeah, like he's talking about it like it's this deep, interesting conversation, and goes like, the more I have this darkness. Yeah, bro. You're a teenager. So I found that I found that look.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's like you're just an angsty teen. That's why you're so much more evil. But I will admit, this is another issue I'm having with the show or the manga is the All for One stuff. Because Shigaraki was supposed to be the big bad. But now we're correcting course, I think, with 386. I think we're getting to okay, Deku's fighting his villain, All Might's fighting his villain. We're likely going to see some parallels happening between the battles. So we're lining back up now. But I was having a big issue with the last arc being a Shigaraki dominant arc, where it seemed as though All for One was either giving his ability to Shigaraki or taking Shigaraki's body, whatever. But they decided to kind of abandon that and bring him back. It just seems like a lot is going on with the villains right now, and I'm liking where they settled here, but it took a little while to get there.
Yep.
I'm surprised that you guys didn't mention a specific thing that happened in 3885. Stain is back.
We haven't gotten there.
We
No,
are
go ahead,
gotten
Isaac. You
No,
happy
go
about
ahead.
that
No,
Stain being back?
Yo, talk. We have no problem. Throw it in there, but don't call us out like we're,
It-
like you're talking
it,
about the
uh,
very
it-
last
it's-
panel.
Yeah, exactly.
Go
But
ahead.
yeah. Stain is back, and what's your opinion on that?
Oh, so you got nothing to say about it? You just want to point out that he's back.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't want to say nothing, but
So how do you feel about Stain being back? You brought it up. You go first.
Honestly, this about him teaming up with All Might does sound sort of like more possible.
Who's teaming
now.
up with All Might?
Stain.
When?
And we had a discussion way back talk about maybe Stain and All Might is teaming up for something, and now when
Okay,
he
so you're
is,
talking about theory-wise, not that
Yeah,
this has happened. Okay, I'm sorry.
yes,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, that was my thing, because why show him now of all time, especially considering what happened in the next chapter, kind of deal. If he's not gonna do anything during this war.
What do you think, Leo?
I think that honestly, that's not far fetched. I definitely, because bringing Stain back, his whole philosophy wasn't as villainous as the rest.
Right.
So him and All Might always had that respect for each other. He always had that respect for All Might. It would make sense for his character to work with All Might. I think they have a similar goal in mind, but are going about it in two different ways. So I'm not gonna put it too far past him stepping in and maybe helping this battle. But we got to get to these battles, man. Now that we've set this up, no more dancing back over at Uraraka and Toga. We don't need any more of that stuff.
We need to
Get
see
to the big
slaps and blood.
battles. Period. Get to the big battles, man.
Yeah.
Like no more dancing around, guys.
So I'm not against about the whole theory of, especially with the setup in the next chapter of All Might against All for One, right? Or Iron Might against All for One.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be against it, but for some reason, I kind of prefer Stain's low-key role as a rebel version of the Watcher. I kind of like him as an instigator more than anything, in the sense of he's kind of the one, you know how John Wick is the one they send to kill the freaking boogeyman? Stain is there to set heroes that cross the line, set up straight by killing them. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like the idea of him being this figure, because before we jump, I have one more. I think we have a little bit more to talk about this chapter, but like when you go forward, right, towards the end of 386, he's just there observing what is going to be Ida and Shoto's next move. And keep in mind, he knows exactly who Ida and Shota are, because they were instrumental in him being captured. But when he first saw Ida was looking for Stain for revenge. So he was someone that, even though was trying to be a hero, he was crossing the line that he shouldn't have. He was, and Shota wasn't at all completely realized. And then in chapter 386, when Stain looks at Ida, he understands that Ida he fixed his ways. He's trying to be a real hero now. So like the idea of Stain just being on this outside place, like when he talks to All Might at the end of season 6, and he's like, "You're not All Might," and he kind of like all he does is instigate, like for All Might to remember what it means to be a hero. So I kind of, and also it all kind of goes back to the idea also that if someone with the stains in his hands as much as, and I think like if in any way, shape, or form Stain does a heroic feat, he's gonna die doing it, because I don't think he wants to be recognized as a hero, because he understands there's blood on his hands. Like he's that.
I mean, that's a fair point.
He's kind of that kind of character.
Yeah, he's like pulling strings from the background,
right?
Unintentionally, like and it. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So I could see him like being there to aid All Might in the battle. I could see those things and they would work, but I kind of like how he's outside of everything on purpose. Like he's just an idea that's just dangling there. You know what I mean? Now, one of the things, as All for One now has the power of Fierce Wings, which, by the way, I love how the most horrible way for you to find out that you're an amazing hero is when a villain is completely trashing you, but admiring how strong you are. You know what I mean? Like when All for One takes Fierce, you know what I mean? When All for One takes Fierce Wings, and I'm going to read it. Like talking about the ability, he says, "A putrid, festering quirk factor. It's to your credit that you got this far with such garbage." I mean, Hawk's the GOAT, bro.
Just messed up, man. I'm like, jeez.
But you got to figure that. You know what that makes me think about?
What?
Mineta. Whatever you do with your quirk, it's on you, bro. You can't be like talking. Because his Fierce Wings is garbage. I don't know what I can say about Mineta's quirk, bro.
Yeah, them grapes ain't doing a damn thing.
Nope.
Nope. He's like, you have a cool hairstyle. I was like, I don't think that's even the case either.
No, I am gonna say this though. Like for some reason, Horikoshi made it a point for us to know that one of his pop balls got stuck to All Might's little like whatever skirt he's wearing. If that becomes a plot point later, I'm just gonna lose my shit.
Wait, what?
Going to page 9, the bottom corner, one of Mineta's pops, it's stuck onto All for One's like skirt or cape.
You know that's gonna come in handy. That's on 385.
Yeah, 385, page 9, the bottom corner.
Excuse my language, but I will laugh my ass off for the entire day if that will actually be a plot point or something.
Do you imagine that's the determining factor in this battle?
It's honestly gotta be. like, why would he just kind of plop that there?
Whoa! Do you think that's how they can track All for One?
Yeah,
as he's flying.
It's possible,
bruh. I don't know. I'm gonna get that Mineta shirt. Yo,
get that Mineta shirt on order. Order that sucker.
And it's not gonna even a one of Mineta. It's just gonna be the picture of that panel. That's all the shirt's gonna be, just that. Now the last piece of 385 is, how long did it take them to show these? Because we know from the end of season 6, so that's like almost 100 chapters ago, maybe, we've known that there's all for one agents that have infiltrated the evacuation houses of UA. Like we constantly see them. So we now finally see them do something.
I don't think we saw them. We haven't seen them since.
Uraraka's we see him doing Uraraka's speech too.
I don't think we have seen them since the traitor got revealed.
Yeah, but we've seen them for a while. But they're showing them, which is cool. I don't know. That guy's like the Energizer Bunny. Apparently, he has like a short circuit quirk. I don't know what it is. But the but
It look.
but,
It
but
looks like he's going to. Trying to explode himself or something.
but it's like you said. The biggest thing was, and that I don't remember the name of that hero. Um. So, but the fact that he jumped back in to protect those people, that was fire.
Love it, bro. Love it. Bring that guy back in the fold.
Yep.
All the heroes that retired come out of retirement,
Yep.
and then we're firing them after because listen, you're gonna go ahead and leave. Fired.
Yeah, I just want to let you know it's not working out. So,
Hey, my man, you was the one talking about, oh, I don't know about this hero stuff anymore. All right. Well, thanks for battling. Goodbye.
welcome to Good Burger, the home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Yo,
Isn't there a
That's what
good
his ass
burger
burned up
sequel?
at.
what was that?
Isn't there a good burger sequel in the works? Or
Yep. Yeah, there is.
that's just
Which-
weird.
We'll see how that pans out.
I mean, it's Good Burger. So, but of
Home of
course,
Good Burger.
the final shot was the shot of Ida, Shoto, and Stain, which we discussed, and it jumps us right into chapter 386. Which, by the way, if there was ever a chapter where it was very important and epic and unique to place the title card of the chapter at the end of the chapter, it was this one. And boy, Horikoshi dropped that mic, bro. I am here. See that? Talk about out of everything that we've seen so far, that is like one of those moments that I cannot wait till it's animated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's good. It's I can already feel the goosebumps. Like it's gonna be like epic, bro.
Yes, sir. Listen, guys, this chapter, along with, I would say, the last two, so 84, 85, and 86, have really revived my interest in the series. Not that I didn't have interest in it, but I've been a couple chapters behind. I've been lagging because it's just like I was saying earlier, it just feels like it's dragging. But this moment right here, we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting. So I have a feeling it's about to be an epic showdown between All for One and All Might. But my question to you guys is, do they end up killing each other? Or does All for One win this?
I say 50-50.
I am almost 100% convinced the way this ends is All for One figures out that he can't take down All Might. So he just tries to flee to get to Shigaraki. And you get to Iron Might and Deku fighting versus All for One and Shigaraki. And they fuse together. And when they fuse together, All for One and Shigaraki, because there's no way that that's not happening. Like, it's anti-shonen, you know?
Yeah, it's got to be like that final boss battle.
Right.
the
Like,
two of
this
them get
needs to
together.
happen. But I think what's going to happen is that All for One is going to be so far rewinded, that by the time he gets to Shigaraki is going to have 100% control of the body.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like
Yeah,
the dominant mental control will be Shigaraki.
right,
They will be fused together.
right.
Another, I think that this is still not off the table. At Tomura could be brought back.
Well, I have a feeling, and I've said it before, like the ending of the opening
Or
of
Tenko, I'm sorry.
yeah, Tengu Shimura. The opening of Core 2 in season 6, that one shot of Deku looking up, and then suddenly you have Shigaraki coming undone, and within the undone, you see the face of All for One, and suddenly you see Tengo as a kid coming out. I have a feeling that that's still going to happen in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
But how?
because it's like with all the hands blocking him, right? Is that the
Well,
moment
you
you're
got to figure
talking about? Or?
the whole hand thing. That's all Shiggy. That's all Shiggy. But I think like anything, there has to
But
be.
there's like a shot. I think it might be in the manga. I'm not sure if it's even in season 6. It might be in the manga. But we peer inside of Shigaraki's mind, and it's like all these hands blocking Tenko.
Oh,
It's in the manga.
it's in the manga.
So I wonder if that's got to be foreshadowing that character will come back.
I don't know, bro.
But
It's
doing
it's a lot.
The Darth Vader thing, type of stuff, then that he kills All for One and stuff like that, or is Shigaraki spewing out the original, so to speak, and they are saving him through that? I mean,
I'm not sure. I just feel like maybe after the dust clears, the character returns to, at least personality wise, how he was before all this happened. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just being too hopeful. But Deku's whole thing was he was gonna save Shigaraki.
Yeah. Now the biggest thing is like we've talked about it a lot in the past, is saving Shigaraki doesn't necessarily mean that he lives. You know, doesn't necessarily mean that he's
Oh
going to
yeah, he may
live.
not live through this. I'm not saying he's necessarily going to live.
But he will. He needs to be saved. That needs to be the way this ends. There's no way that this is a story of where they all become the greatest heroes and Deku does not save the person he's intending to save. Like
which
that
is
just
why, which is
that just doesn't
why,
happen.
which is why having him hearing Deku's words, and have him then later go Darth Vader is sort of like a saving him type of deal. I mean, and it would fit considering he's a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Now, the way this chapter starts, the idea, see, we all knew that Dabi was not going to make it. Like that was,
Yeah.
we knew that was a fact. But the fact that he made himself into a freaking bomb,
Crazy.
yeah, bro. Like, and the funny thing is, here's where I go like Horikoshi as an artist. Thank you very much. King. Well done. Did you notice that if you put all the panels together, it's literally Dalby as an artist saluting the public? Did you guys notice that?
Are you
When they're
talking about the ones in the bottom right, in the right corner
So in page
on
2,
page 2? Yeah.
right? So he's looking, and then if you go to page 4, he's bowing,
Yeah, that's tight.
as is
Second
Dobby's
artist.
final performance.
Yeah.
And right beside him is his family. which
Yeah.
are going to be all the ones that are going to die if that happens. Because
Not with
I don't think anybody knows that the evacuation box that's stuck is the one
is
with the
theirs.
Todorokis.
Yeah.
Yep.
But nah, man, Ida and Shoto on the way.
Yes. No, but the biggest thing is not that they're on the way. The biggest thing is you two boys, you're still with us, right? All Might doing the thing, bro. All
Oh my
Might,
god, being the freaking mentor that these kids need.
bro. See, and the funny thing is, remember, we technically haven't seen All Might since the freaking war started.
Yeah.
But
We also haven't
he took everything that Stain said to heart, right? So
right. We also haven't really seen outside of Deku All Might being this big of a mentor toward the rest of them.
true.
So I
Only
love
to
that, man.
Bakugo a little bit. Only to Bakugo a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Since when he learned the secret. But yeah, you're right. You're right. 100% right, bro. So him being this like, and the funny thing is, I think the biggest thing is we haven't seen All Might talk like this in a long time. I think that was the biggest thing, right? Like him
Mhm.
talking with all this hope, all this trust. Because all this time, all we've seen him be as is this worry word guardian for Deku. So I love seeing the effect of Stain's words to him. But and him just motivating everybody. And it's like, I don't know, bro. And the idea and that panel in page 8, Ida kid, you know how to run, right? You know that when that's animated, you know that you say run's gonna play.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh
bro,
yeah.
bro. Da, 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 da. Yo,
You already
yo,
know it's coming. You already
yo,
know.
yo.
And then I love the panel of the young All Might looking at the young Deku. That's tight
Dude,
as fuck.
dude, dude. Everything here. The panel of Ida just getting ready to start running. And I don't know, but I'm not used to seeing Ida just running through buildings and shit. But damn, do
Yeah,
it.
that man is running. That dude is
Running
running.
around
Okay?
in the speed of sound.
Oh my god. Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
No. So for some reason, out of nowhere, you know that. That's why they call me Mr. Ferry.
Oh
for
my god.
I'll make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now.
me now.
You were gonna say something, Leo?
I completely lost my train of thought when Queen came into the picture.
I'm sorry, man. Queen, do that. Queen, do that.
Apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. But I hope they don't jump on us to another part of the battle.
Yeah,
You know
this
that's
you
coming,
can't
guys.
bring All Might like this
I feel
and
like
jump to
that's
something
coming.
else.
We're
I
going to
mean,
jump back over to the Todorokis or whatever. See, here's what's going to happen. We're going to jump over the Todoroki family. They're going to potentially be close to death, and then Ida and Shoto show up.
I mean, no matter what happens, we have been away for almost a year about the whole cliffhanger with Bakugo, so
Crazy.
it's not
Crazy.
it's not impossible that he will just switch point of view.
Yo, I don't know why, but that panel. So of course the biggest thing is, Stain sees them and recognizes. It's like one of those game recognizes game moments. You know what I mean? Like Stain is looking at Ida and
Yeah.
Shadow. Okay, I see you. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna get in your way. You're doing the right thing to keep people happy and safe. Like All Might just having these kids be their best selves, bro. This is just great storytelling, bro. And that shot of Shoto just listening put a stop to Toya, make everyone feel safe again, so you can be your best self. Like those, like because
Oh,
here's the thing
so
though,
good.
like him understanding these kids. You know what I mean? Like he knows everything they've been through. We may not have seen them do this with everybody else, but like you can tell that All Might has been keeping tabs on everybody in 1A,
Oh
not just
yeah.
Deku. And
Yep.
and it just touches the heart, bro. And now the biggest thing though is of course when All Might is talking to Sakaushi about fighting All for One. Of course, nobody knows what's going on. We know that they're talking this, but then he starts going, it all started with this. And you're like, wait. And when he said stop, you're quirkless. And I'm like, no. What is going on? And then you see Deku and Toshinori Yagi. Can someone without a quirk be bro? That line, bro. That line. That
So
line, bro.
so dope,
And
bro.
is this just me? Is it just me? Or that one panel at the bottom of page 15 where it gives you the chapter number? Tell me that's not some Michael Keaton Batman energy, bro. With that crazy look on his face. You want to get nuts? Bruh, he got that face. He ready.
All Might ready to go, bro. Ready.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I want to see the Iron Man suit so bad.
Bro, when he
It looks
starts
so
doing all
tight.
this, I am here. And look at the face on All for One.
Now,
Like
all
he's
that came out of that little tiny suitcase he was carrying.
no, bro, that's the car.
Oh shit!
Wait,
Look
what?
at it. That's the suitcase and the car that he's been driving. Right behind him.
I
That's
see
the
it. I
car,
see the
bro.
car. Yeah, I see the car
That's the
coming up.
car.
That'll be
The
tight.
car is his Optimus Prime, whatever, bro. Iron
We
Mike,
about to
bro.
go full Megazord on this guy.
Bruh.
So what you're saying is that he has stepped up a game from how Tony Stark had it when he was alive.
Well, he took notes from Iron Man 2. And then he went like, okay, bet.
Ugh.
I got one better.
Yeah, for sure. Because Iron Man 2 is oof.
Not the movie. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Anybody can say whatever they want from Iron Man 2, but that whole suitcase in armor in the suitcase thing, that's one of the most
Trash.
amazing shots in any Iron Man movie. I don't care.
That's why he's got the little suitcase here. They're totally going
Yes.
full on Iron Man, bro.
I mean, his chapter of the comment of the week when this chapter came out was Ike Mark 5. So, Konami of course you did.
Openly admitted it. Yeah.
No, that was great. That was great. So good. I can't wait. I really don't want them. I'm gonna be honest. If something's gonna happen to All Might, just do it. Just don't keep
Just
me
do it.
wondering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't keep me
Don't
wondering.
do the Bakugo thing.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
See Bakugo, but we know that Bakugo ain't gonna die, bro.
I
Come on,
mean,
bro.
Headshot can hopefully fail with the siege. So
Did Isaac just say Headshot could hopefully fail, bruh?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah,
Damn, bro.
You want Bakugo to die, don't you?
yeah.
Harsh,
I do.
bro. Harsh.
Yeah, I know.
I
know.
I gotta walk away from this for a minute. I
Oh, okay. Let me ask you guys in. What do you think are the chances Bakugo survives this? I think he.
I
could
think
die,
he
folks.
survives. I think he survives, but I don't think. I think
Yeah.
he's gonna be. I think it's going to be one of those situations where he survives, and he's legendary. But I don't think he may not have. Well, actually, you know what? I think he survives, and he's going to be okay. Now that I think about it, because the whole point of him carrying the scars that other people sacrifice himself so he can be the best hero he can be. To me, that throws so much into his arc that for him to just die after that would be kind of stupid.
I say 95% that he survive. because of the headshot stuff, 5% that he actually do die. So
Do you
But you
think
still
it's
want him dead, though.
possible? Yeah, you do.
yeah,
What the hell?
yeah.
Do you think it's possible he dies or not dies? He survives but comes back with not as much abilities, like not as great of abilities.
That could also be the
I
thing.
think it's the other way around, though. I think that if he comes back, he's
Oh.
coming back
like double Bakugo
to,
type
to
of.
yes, he's coming back like it's on.
Okay, so
Uh,
then does Edge Shot live inside of him at that point? Like, is that just kind of like a
no,
I'm
because
your
I
Yeah.
think
heart, my
remember
guy?
they were saying that when he does something like that, S shot is gone. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, wow.
After that,
So Edge
yeah.
Shot sacrifices himself. to
which
come
is the
back.
which is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Like this, because remember, he's part of the older generation of
Yep.
heroes.
Yep.
So it's the
Passing
whole
that
thing.
torch.
Exactly. It's the whole thing of the older generation believes in you, Bakugo, that you can be XYZ, you know?
I still hope that he headshot fails the
Damn it,
operation,
bro.
but yeah.
I'm please,
Dang.
Isaac, tell us what you think.
What? I don't like Bakugo as a character. It's nothing more complicated than that.
Rude.
Although he's better character than Mineta, I will admit.
Yeah.
That's for certain, at least.
I hope Bakugo comes back. I think he will. And then Edge Shot, no more Edge Shot. Do you guys think he jumps in the final battle or like
He
Deku
jumps in-
Bakugo versus Shigaraki type deal? Or
No, I think Bakugo is definitely going to be in the. I think it's going to be All Might Deku against. Actually, I'm going to use the name while I can. It's going to be Iron Might Deku against All for
Yeah.
One and Shiggy, right? And by the time Shiggy and All for One become one, they're going to definitely make All Might go away, and that's going to be the moment where Bakugo steps in.
yeah, I think you get Deku and Class 1A with all of the
Yes.
passed on strength from One for All versus the two of them put together.
Yep. I think that's what we get.
Ooh wee, folks. Ooh wee. I hope it doesn't take too long to get to that though. You know we got another 100 chapters, folks.
Yes. There's a
It
lot.
seems like it. Didn't he say that he was gonna end this series like very soon? And that was like
He
damn
said
near
a
2 years
year and a
ago?
half ago, I think.
Yeah.
He was going to finish it in a year.
And it's been about a year, Hori. What we doing?
Yep. Well, the good thing is, it's getting good. It's still good. Let's put it that way. Still good. Still engaging. We care about these characters. We can't wait to read more. We're on break though. We won't get more.
Oh hell.
We won't get more My Hero till May 7th. So still got a little bit to go. But I'm excited to read more. So this is awesome. Leo, we've done it. We've taught MHA. Isaac, we've done it. You still want Baku to die. We've had fun talking MHA. Leo, so great to have you, man. What do you got going on Geekly Goods? Tell the
Hey
world, bro.
man, thanks for letting me come on and talk some MHA, guys. This was a really good spot to return because man, it has returned into great form. But guys, you can find me over on YouTube at Geekly Goods. Coming up, I got Guardians of the Galaxy review dropping tomorrow. Going to check out Volume 3 tonight. And
nice.
Very excited for that. And then also got a review for Sisu dropping as well.
Sisu.
Yep, so good. And Peter Pan and Wendy getting around to the review for that one as well. Once I get a little bit of time, I've been off a little bit for my birthday. So, but yeah, got a couple reviews around the corner, y'all. So come on over to the channel. And if you're on social media platforms, it's at Geekly Goods.
Awesome. And you can keep following us here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast for awesome manga anime coverage. We got some movie reviews coming up. Jamie is doing her shorts series now on Dr. Stone Season 3 New World. And I'm still working on that short series on One Piece. So Let us know what you want us to cover. What else you want us to talk about MHA wise? Do you want us to cover a different movie? Do you want us to do something else? Any other shonen animes you want us to check out and talk about here on the channel? Let us know. Make sure you click on that like button, click on that bell for notifications, and subscribe to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. Stay awesome, guys. And don't forget, go beyond. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.